The Philippines is preparing for a massive leap in its missile power by 2030, and this transformation is one of the most significant defense upgrades in the country's history. For decades, the Philippine military struggled with outdated equipment, often relying on old ships and aircraft that could no longer compete with modern threats. But now, through an ambitious modernization program, the nation is determined to rise as a credible defense force in Asia, and missiles are at the heart of this strategy. By 2030, the Philippines aims to build a powerful missile arsenal that can defend its islands, secure its waters, and give it the deterrence it has long lacked against regional challenges. At the center of this rise is the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile, a joint development of India and Russia that has already been delivered to the Philippine Marine Corps. The BrahMos travels at speeds of up to Mach 3 and has a range of nearly 300 kilometers, giving the Philippines the ability to strike enemy ships or coastal targets long before they approach Philippine shores. The acquisition of BrahMos marked the Philippines as the first foreign country to deploy this missile, a clear signal that it is ready to protect its maritime sovereignty. By 2030, the government plans to purchase more batteries, not just for coastal defense, but also for integration with naval ships and possibly submarines, ensuring that the country can strike from land and sea. Alongside BrahMos, another powerful system shaping the Philippines' missile future is the American-made Typhon Mid-Range Capability system. This advanced launcher can fire both Tomahawk cruise missiles, which have ranges over 1,500 kilometers, and the SM-6 interceptor, which can target enemy aircraft, cruise missiles, and even ballistic missiles. The United States has already deployed a Typhon unit in Luzon as part of military cooperation, and Philippine troops have begun training on the system. By 2030, the Philippines is expected to either acquire its own Typhon units or build a similar capability through partnerships. Having both BrahMos for short to medium-range strikes and Typhon for long-range operations means the Philippines will cover its entire defense spectrum, from local territorial waters to far-reaching deterrence in the South China Sea. This layered defense also sends a strong message to potential aggressors that the Philippines is no longer defenseless, but armed with some of the most advanced missile systems in the region.
This missile buildup is part of the larger Horizon 3 and Re-Horizon modernization program, a defense roadmap that allocates over 2 trillion pesos for advanced systems, ships, aircraft, and weapons. By 2030, the Philippines envisions a military that is no longer reactive but proactive, able to shape the security environment rather than just respond to threats. Beyond BrahMos and Typhon, other missile systems are under consideration. These include more coastal defense systems, ship-based anti-air and anti-ship missiles, and eventually submarine-launched weapons once the Philippine Navy acquires its first submarines. There is also a growing interest in building local defense industries through partnerships with India, South Korea, and Western allies, which may lead to the Philippines co-producing missiles or missile components domestically. This would not only strengthen the military but also boost the country's defense economy and technological independence. The importance of missile power for the Philippines cannot be overstated. The country faces complex challenges in the West Philippine Sea, where disputed waters are often subject to incursions by foreign vessels. With powerful missiles, the Philippines can enforce its sovereignty more effectively by deterring hostile actions. A fleet of fast-attack interdiction crafts armed with missiles is also being introduced, providing mobile and deadly platforms that can strike quickly and then retreat. Combined with submarines and modern warships, these assets will form a credible naval force by 2030, one that is capable of both defense and limited offensive operations. Furthermore, air defense will also benefit from new missile systems, as the integration of radar networks and surface-to-air interceptors will provide a shield against enemy aircraft and missile attacks. Another important factor is how these missile programs elevate the Philippines' role in international security. By participating in joint exercises with the United States, Japan, Australia, and other allies, the armed forces of the Philippines will operate side by side with some of the most modern militaries in the world. This cooperation means greater training, shared intelligence, and the possibility of interoperability in times of crisis. Missiles are not only weapons of destruction, but also symbols of partnership and credibility. For a long time, the Philippines was seen as the weakest link in regional defense, but by 2030, it will be a nation with real deterrence power, respected for its ability to defend itself and contribute to stability in the Indo-Pacific.
The symbolic value of this transformation is just as powerful as the military value. For ordinary Filipinos, seeing their nation acquire advanced missiles after decades of neglect brings pride and confidence that the government is finally serious about defense. For enemies, it introduces caution, making them think twice before violating Philippine territory. For allies, it signals that the Philippines is stepping up to share the burden of regional security. These are the qualities of deterrence, not just the ability to fight, but the power to prevent war by convincing others that aggression would be too costly. By 2030, when the missile modernization plans reach maturity, the Philippines will be a very different kind of military power. It will not rival giants like China or the United States, but it will have the tools to defend itself effectively. A mix of supersonic BrahMos batteries, Typhon long-range launchers, fast attack crafts, submarines, and ship-based missile systems will give the armed forces of the Philippines a balanced, credible, and flexible arsenal. The journey is not without challenges. Funding, training, and technology transfer remain hurdles, but the direction is clear. The Philippines is moving from a nation that once relied on outdated Second World War relics to a state with 21st century missile deterrence. This evolution is not only a military upgrade, but also a historic turning point, ensuring that the Philippines can face the future with confidence, strength, and sovereignty intact.